Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Listen, we got to get into it. You guys already know why we're here. We're here to do an episode analysis for Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. We have one more episode to go. This is season 4, episode 9. It's about that time, you guys. It was a good episode. It was a good episode. And let me just get right into it, all right? Um, the opening montage, that sort of recaps and brings you forward. Well, it was all over the place. It higgly piggly, you guys. It was hither, thither, and yon, right? I mean, we went all the way back in some cases. I knew when I saw that opening montage, I said, this episode gonna be jam packed. It is going to be from the windows to the Mickey Fricky walls, you guys, and that is exactly what it was. We first of all gonna go ahead and pour one out and mourn Krystal. Okay, poor Krystal. Poor Krystal. Apparently Krystal was kidnapped. She's been tortured. I just could not figure out why is Krystal in her underclothes. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I think they was gonna try to head in a couple of different directions, and this is the one they decided on, you guys. Listen. She tied up, she chained up, baby, on a old crackhead mattress in some old dive apartment, some you know, drug hole type situation, right? I mean, her hair's all over her head. She been gone for like 3 or 4 days, but evidently they've been keeping her drugged up, child. Just dope to the gills. We see where Bonnie from Bonnie and Clyde Snaps and Pops General Mills, okay, comes in, and she's supposed to be Krystal's friend, like she's saving Krystal. She ain't saving Krystal, and why Krystal don't know she ain't being saved, I don't know. But again, she's being doped up, right? And y'all know typically chaining somebody up, they scantily clad and they being doped up. Yeah, it ain't pretty. It ain't safe for a girl child out here in a world full of men. That's all I'm saying, okay? And Pops, aka Bonnie, she making her a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And she talking real sweet and real nice to her and everything. And she's just saying, I think they'll let you go. I think it'll be okay. You poor dear, if you just let them know something. She was like, Krystal was like, I don't know anything. I'm telling you, I don't know anything. And Pops is just like, I understand, girl, I understand. But I just figured I get you something to eat, and we could sit down and you and I could talk like, girl have a little girl talk. I was just like, wait, what? You can have a little girl talk. Like, girl, if you not opening this front door and letting me run free, I'm not really sure what we got to talk about, but okay, it's fine. Krystal again being doped up, she may not be able to reason with herself about what she need to do because I'd have bust Pops over the head and I'd have ran out of that joint. That's what I would have done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What are you talking about? What peanut butter and jelly sandwich? What I mean, no. So um finally she says, you know what? She says Kanan doesn't know who unalive famous. He's not sure. He does suspect his mom, and so when Pops learns this, she gives her the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and Krystal is eating that peanut butter and jelly sandwich like it is the last one on earth. Turns out it is the last one for her on this earth, and Pops puts a puts a window in the side of a cranium, and just like that, Krystal is gone. It was brutal. It was just as brutal as OC. I will say, in terms of brutality, this last part of the season is giving. All right, it does feel like dope dealing and drugs and edge of your seat when they give us these types of scenes. But you know, shout out to Krystal, child. She is helping to push the storyline along, and for that alone, we gonna tip our hats to Krystal. All right. This is the opening, right? Remember yet last week we talked about edge of the seat. Hold on, buckle up. We're here, you guys. We are here. We're gonna talk about Kanan and Rock, who I would say Kanan, Rock, and Unique are our pivotal characters in this episode. But let's go ahead and take care of our auxiliary characters. Now, we need to go ahead and talk about Marvin, okay? All right, I feel like we need to do a movie. What about Marvin? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna miss the Marvin character, you guys, so much. Let's just do a brief run through of what happened with Marvin. Marvin is headed to his car. Early confronts him, lets him know me and my family, we not gonna let what you did to Londale stand. And Marvin is like, what are you talking about? Londale knew a lot of different people from all over the place, and he talked too much. Anybody could have unalive Londale. And Early is not buying it. And then Marvin is just like, my condolences to you and your family, dude, but I didn't have nothing to do with that, right? And Early is not buying it. He continues to push up on Marvin, and Marvin says, "Listen, Precious, uh, let's say I did unalive your cousin. Let's just say I did do that. What you gonna do about it?" Exactly. That's what I thought. Cause Early is not finna just. That's why he had Londale with him to handle, this whole sordid mess, because Early don't do nothing for himself. How he think he can roll up on Marvin and confront Marvin, and you ain't had nothing to say to Unique when Unique was pushing you around your own apartment and still hadn't paid you. Okay. um anyway, Marvin got his car and went on. And and even though Early had been son, you can see that Early got in his mind that he is definitely gonna get even with Marvin. We see where um it's a very tense scene. We see where David in the interim gets gunned down at the gay bar. He go to the bathroom at the gay bar and he gets gunned down. This is all right in this same little window with the Marvin and the Early. David, the one that's supposed to be running the trucks for Marvin and for Rock, get gunned down in the gay bar bathroom, right? All right. We see where Early goes straight to Stefano, and says, "I need to talk to you about Marvin Thomas." Right? Like, you don't even need a last name. Everybody know who Marvin is. So it just kind of solidified what my thought process is for the Marvin character in this season, right? We see where later on, Rock confirms to Marvin that Early been by there, and Early talked to Stefano, and Early let Stefano know what happened with the Bookie situation, the Londale situation, and all of that. And Marvin is kind of stunned, but he got a lot on his mind. Number one, he thinking about Amber. He feeling real, uneasy about Amber. He see a man get his daughter off the bus and hug her and all of that, and he's like, I need to check on Amber, right? You also need to check on your daughter Juke. But I digress. I digress. So he goes to Amber's school. He's looking for his god baby, and he bribes the guy and gets the guy. Find out she ain't been in school, and he gets the guy's address. Gets with her. Gets the guy he bribes. Gets that person to give him Amber's address, and then Marvin goes over and he's looking for Amber. Her parents dusty and dirty and trailer parkish, and there is just something not right going on. Again, like the Krystal situation, typically it's something that is really horrific, right? But we don't go there because that's not leading us into season 5, right? But he does bust in after the guy's like, "Oh, I'll call the cops." "You gonna call the cops, sir? You got children locked up in a room with a padlock in the back in this nasty, filthy, dirty behind house. You calling the cops?" Okay. There's the it's the male privilege, right? Like what? Anyway, so Marvin goes in, he hears Amber calling, Marvin, Marvin. And he goes back there and he sees that she's locked. He busts the door down. The guy comes around the corner with a bat, the foster father, and Marvin unalives him. The mama try to run and all of that. She covered in cat pee. She can't get very far. Marvin unalives her as well, right? And then he tells Amber, listen, Amber, I'm gonna double back and I'm gonna check on you, boo. Okay. He said, I'm gonna double back and I'm gonna check on you. He said, but you tell the police that a old scraggly white crackhead broke in and did these things to your parents, your foster parents. And she don't say yes, okay, I'll take care of it or nothing. Lastly, she got dark brown hair. I think Amber and Krystal probably was on the same program, if you know what I mean. Like, did she have dark brown hair when he saw her at the school? I don't think so. But we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. But I think it was a possibility that these conversations could have been had, except we're going in a different direction here. I just want to put a pin in that. And so Marvin saves Amber. That's Marvin this episode, right? Trying to figure out how he gonna get out of this whole mess. He done got himself quagmired in. Ain't but one way out of this, Marvin. And I'm sad to say that. Okay, listen. Let's talk about um Juke. All right. Juke spends this entire episode revisiting her past. She does. She sees Mara. She finds out from Mara that the police, Garcia, has been by there. He didn't ask her no questions, but he definitely unloaded on Mara about Juke and Juke's family and Juke's past. And Juke is not happy about it. She just don't understand why Garcia can't stay out of her business and leave her alone. Why is Garcia targeting her? Now, last episode, Garcia kept telling her um that Burke's daddy said that Burke had real good things to say about Juke, and Burke had good things to say about Juke, and that she was an ally and that type of thing. And he's staying kind of on this vein, like, I know you know something, I know you could tell me something, I know you could do something for me, right? And Juke is just like, would you leave me the heck alone? Later on, Aisha comes. And she has a lovely, lovely day with Aisha. They have dessert. They talk. They like each other. They seeing other people. They may want to get together. She's not sure. Aisha is just like, I thought you said you was gonna try to get away from your family and go and do things. Juke was like, I tried to go to school there. I didn't like it. I tried this. I didn't like it. I just don't know what I want to do and how I want to do it. And it's gonna be very difficult for me to get away from this family, right? And I'm not really even sure I want to get away from the family per se. Okay, and Aisha was just like, you just had such grand plans and you were just gonna do all these wonderful things, and I just don't understand. And as they leave in the dessert bar, here comes Garcia. Once again, he want to talk to Juke. Juke sent Aisha on about her way. Aisha's like, I'm so scared for you. I don't want to leave you with Garcia. And Juke was like, okay, it's fine. It's fine. I got my eggplant with me. Don't worry. It's fine. And so, um, once again, Garcia's like, you got something for me? And Juke is like, you know what? Um, Mother buck you, and I don't have nothing to say to you. And she go on. Later on, when she talked to Kanan, and she realized that Garcia is probably one of the few people that she can go and talk to and find out what's going on with Krystal. Don't nobody know where Krystal is. Can't nobody find Krystal. Well, Juke goes and talks to Garcia. Garcia comes and he gives her a picture of Krystal's body that they found in the stairwell, and confirms to her that Krystal is no longer with us, right? And before he walks off, he tells Juke that she owe him a favor. Messy, real messy. But we gonna talk about it. Okay, let's talk about Lou and B Rilla or Brillo, right? Um, the police come and they want to know. if they know anything about what went on in front of the studio right outside the street, these people that was unalive. And of course, Lou used to talking to the cops. He's just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And B Rillo don't say nothing. He's just like, we left. And also Imani is there. Imani is there. It's kind of like an alibi type situation because Lou was like, I left and went to her place. When we left here, I left and went to her place. and and Imani is just acting real squirrely. Like I'm like Imani. You just said he got a night job last episode, girl. Suck it up. She was just like nervous and not wanting to confirm or deny anything. Finally, she gets her gathers her things and go like, you ain't even about this life. But that's kind of what Lou been telling you. He kind of been telling you I got my own thing going on in one way or another, and it's not like squeaky like you think. Like you want to hold hands and be girl. Anyway, so the police push on him a little bit harder, but Lou and B Rillo stand their ground. Right later on, B Brillo, is barking at Lou like you told me, you promised me, you said you was going da 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 da. Didn't he just get you out of a real bad situation in the middle of the street? Didn't he come and get you out of jail? All of this stuff. It is the same whiny, annoying, like everybody is responsible for helping you to feed your child. You could have worked 15, 16 hours this week already down at the Popeyes, at the Mickey D's, you know what I'm saying? And getting a check from somewhere. Instead, you just always, your job is belly aching and being ungrateful. You know what I mean? You trifling, Brillo. We could have got rid of you this episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't did nothing but belly ache and whine. Anyway, he ends up coming full circle, shaking Lou's hand and just said, I'm down for whatever. I'm down. I can get real gully, anything. I just know to feed my family. So if you're looking for somebody that's gonna, I was like, okay, good. Hopefully we can get rid of B Roller. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. In episode 10, hopefully. And Lou, says, okay, because, some stuff is about to go down. They're going to need some extra men. If B Rillo can be brought in, you'd be an idiot to bring B Rillo in. He say he gully, but he not. But this is the direction they heading in with the Brillo character and Lou. Later on, Lou goes down to Shirley's and he is just talking to Shirley about. Shirley's like, you seem real zen. You seem real zen. And Lou was like, you know what? I feel like this is the calmest and the happiest I've been in a long time because this is what we're doing. We're selling the fact that Lou is back in the game. We're trying to sell it. Everybody's confirming that he is at his most happiest now that he's back to pew pewing people, right? So here come Imani, and she want to break up with him, and she done told Lowell she don't want to work with him no more because she not about this life, and so on and so forth. And you need to be honest about who you are and what you doing. And Lou is like, I have been honest with you. You just ain't listening. You just ain't listening, girl. Okay, you not about this life. You not. And she was like, I want to know what happened. He was like, ain't nothing happened out there in front of the studio, girl. Ain't nobody finna tell you that. You giving me real jelly back. You know what I'm saying? You are obviously afraid. You obviously have the potential to be a snitch to the cops. I'm not finna confirm or deny anything to you. If you want to run along, sugar, run along. And that's what he does. He said, you need to just be honest with yourself. You need to gather your things, girl. Lou, I hope you didn't leave none in her house. I really do. I hope you didn't leave none in her house. The last thing you need is to be tied with a chick that ain't a rider. And that's just on period. It's okay that she not a rider. It's not okay that you don't recognize that she not a rider. Okay. So shout out to Lou for going ahead and giving Imani her walking papers. Right? So we're gonna talk about Lou again when we get to Rock. All right. Because Lou has decided I'm down. I am completely down. Afterwards, he talks to Lowell. Lowell is like, I can't be involved with no criminality. And Lou is like, you know what? This is the same thing I'm telling the money. I'm telling you, okay? I shouldn't have never got in the bed with you, Lowell. I shouldn't have never got into this with you. Okay, you think you know so much. You questioning me about my past and my business and all this other stuff. I tried to explain this to you when you wanted me to join your team, but you don't really listen. You're not really paying attention. So you know what? Take this music business and, and push it where the sun don't shine. Okay, I quit. I'm out. All right. Later on, he goes and he talks to Rock, and he tries to sell it to Rock. I didn't buy it. It was a bunch of fool la la. She was like everything that went on with D Wiz and Scrap and all of that. It pushed you to the edge. You was sleeping inside of a whiskey bottle, and he was just like, I don't think I was sleeping inside of the whiskey bottle because of what happened to them. I was sleeping inside the whiskey bottle because I think I enjoyed what happened to them. Part I was just like, what? That that is what are you talking about? What I I just didn't understand that. What is this script? What is this dialogue? It's not believable, especially since he spent season 2, season 3 just saying I don't want no part of this life because it's destroying me. It's destroying the people I care about, the people around me, that type of thing. This is the conversation he's been having since season 2. And now you're saying you wasn't a falling down drunkard because you hated the lifestyle. You falling down drunkard because you love the lifestyle. What? Okay. All right. Don't worry. Rock called BS on it too, but at the same time, she need Lou, right? And Lou is like, I'm a dragon slayer. You know what I'm saying? This is what they're giving us. This is what they're selling us with the Lou situation. That he's gonna come in and he's gonna be the fire breathing dragon. And I mean he's gonna be the dragon slayer and the dragon all at the same time. I mean the way they trying to push Lou like he's the Kraken. Like they finna release the Kraken. Okay, Sasha. Okay, girl. We gonna do it. This is how we doing it. Okay. Me personally, I just see it as a means to an end. So I'm not gonna bellyache the loose situation too much. But yeah, weird, right? Okay, let's go and get into Rock and Kanan now. Kanan is very, very worried about Krystal, you guys. He's very, very nervous about Krystal. And he knows she didn't make it to Delaware. He's at the diner with Juke, and Rock shows up. And there is this conversation. Obviously, Kanan's conversation towards Rock is always hostile. It's no different on this day, except he finally just asks her flat out, hey, did you have anything to do with Famous? And she was like, no, I love Famous. I didn't. I hope you're not thinking that I had something to do with it because I did not. Right now, Rock is looking season 1 Rock. She's looking more motherly. She's not done up like she normally is. It looked like she brushed her hair and pulled it back in just a half up, half down, and gave herself a little light swoopity swoop. It ain't Aisha swoop, but still. And she's trying to talk to him, and she was like, Krystal came by to see me, and they sit up on the edge of their seat because they was just talking about Crystal's been gone for a few days and nobody knows where she is. And Kanan has looked everywhere. Now here Rocky is saying that Krystal came by to see her, and he was like, when did Krystal come by and see you? She was like 2 or 3 days ago. She came by, she said she was leaving and she wanted me to look out for you because she was worried about you, right? And he was just like, Crystal's missing. We can't find Krystal. And she was like, I didn't have nothing to do with that. Why would I tell you that Krystal came by to see me if I had something to do with her disappearing? And Kanan is just like, yeah, you love D Wiz too, and da 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 da. This is go to conversation. She's like, Kanan, you need to listen. I'm trying to tell you something else is going on around here because I didn't have anything to do with Famous, and I didn't have anything to do with Krystal being gone. And basically she willing to help if he you want to calm down a little bit and take it down 2 notches. And Jude just sitting there the whole time, and he gets upset and gets mad and he walks off. He wants to trust his mom, but he doesn't know how to trust her because of her own behaviors, because of his own behaviors. like Rock said, I'm sorry about the D Wiz situation, but you kind of you're the reason why I had to do that. I did that to protect you. So it's all on you. And he gets pissed off and he walks off, of course. And Rock tell Juke, she said, ain't no winning with Kanan. And Juke said one of the smartest things. She said it ain't about winning, it's about not losing him. It was a good moment. This was a good moment. We could have done this really in season 4. We could have started all of this in episode 2, episode 3. We could have had Juke orchestrate a meeting with Kanan. You know what I'm saying? Like I just got so much more from this conversation between Rock and Kanan than I have all season, is my point. Right? Y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all put that down below. Okay. Um, let's see here. We see where Kanan rolls up on Krystal's stepdaddy, and he want to know if he's seen Krystal because Krystal say you get real creepy at night, you real handsy, and he was like, I haven't seen her, and her mama haven't seen her. Krystal don't talk to her mama, and he ends up mollywopping the guy. He needed to be mollywopped. And we also needed to see Kanan show some muscle. And he does in this scene where he gives the guy a good mollywhopping and boots him up. And then, Sasha done wrote him some lines, to make him seem real tough and formidable, and Kanan, he does a good job. He was like, if Krystal show up and she come around here, and you best call me, and you and her mom's best call me and let me know if y'all see her. Because I'm looking for her, and she didn't make it to Delaware, and I suspect you. Right? The guy is a janitor, so he mopping and cleaning up, and Kanan walked past the mop bucket and knocks the mop bucket over. I was like, you better get it told, Kanan. Oh, he was sure sweating too from that molly whopping. Kanan was. I knew when he looked at that bucket, I said he gonna push that bucket over. Now it's supposed to be a tough guy move, but it was just so petty. So petty. But okay. Finally Kanan shows up. Finally Kanan Stark shows up. Yeah, my name is Kanan Stark. I was like, boy, we are really pushing this agenda, aren't we? Okay, we see where um, he leaves and he has a conversation with Juke. And Juke is like, let me call in my connect. Now, Juke don't tell him yet. In this episode, Juke don't tell him that Krystal is gone. At this time, she's saying, I'm gonna look into my connect. I might have somebody that can give me some insight. And he says he going to talk to Pops and Snaps, right? Bonnie and Clyde, you know what I'm saying? General Mills, and see what they found out about Famous and if they know about Krystal. And he does. He goes to see them and they are just like, we have no idea about your girlfriend, but we did find out about Famous. And he getting ready to go. But when they mention that they got to the bottom of what's going on with Famous, he pulls up a chair and sits down and he braces himself, right? and and they said it was your mother. Your mother is the one that had Krystal, not had Famous put down, right? And it is so unoriginal. It is so not clever the way they did this. And the reason why I say that, because if it was true that Rock put them down, okay, right? And you got to have a scheme. You got to have a caper. You got to push the characters in a certain direction. It's just we could have did it better. We could have did it better. We could have done it better. Um, Snap and Pops is it. The characters themselves are paper thin, right? These lines delivered in this episode to push Kanan in this particular direction are weak and are feckless and have zero imagination to them. And I just I don't I can't get into it. I just cannot get into this pop snaps and I don't understand it and I can't get into it. All right. I'm just saying. Y'all tell me what y'all think about the snaps and pops character and them trying to push Kanan in this direction, right? We ain't got but one more episode left, so it really doesn't matter per se. It's just let's move on from these characters. We don't need to continually have these characters on, and it's just we're just moving from rush one rushed moment to another rushed moment because hopefully these characters aren't going to be in season 5, in which case season 10 is going to be packed full of fodder, characters that we are eliminating because they are of no further use to us in this series. All right. Okay, so he's shocked. He is just like, oh, I mean, hearing somebody else say it and confirm it is the one thing Kanan has not had. And so, yeah, Kanan Stark is shocked. It's a mess. Okay, let's talk about Rock real quick. Now, I've said what I had to say about Rock in my analysis. To me, she's still the show's most interesting character. That is period. I know this episode was supposed to be about Kanan. I know we were supposed to be talking about now how Kanan is finally really, really angry and really, really moving in this way. But I'm telling y'all, the Rock character in this episode, I loved it. I love that softer side of her in the diner talking to Juke and to Kanan. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the conversation that she had with every single solitary person in the scenes for this episode. But let's go ahead and talk about it. Rock learns about David, the Vietnamese guy that run her shipments, trucking, send her products out to the restaurants. She learns that he is unalived and she's trying to figure out, she knows it's unique and she vents about it to Marvin, and Marvin suggests that they talk to Stefano about using some trucks to move the product in till they can find somebody to replace David. um and we see also that they kind of want to confront Stefano about what to do about Unique. And Rock says, I'm so sick and tired of these linguine eating mother duckers, right? I thought it was a cute, it was a cute moment. And when she said that, I was just like, okay, I see where we're going with this, right? Like Unique getting tired of Russo and Rock getting tired of Stefano. I smell a collaboration going on. I really was thinking that. I really was thinking that in this moment. I know people go back and they hindsight is 2020, but this is what I was thinking when she said she getting tired of working for them linguine eating mother buckers, right? Okay. Then we see where um she want to know, hey, we got to go talk to Stefano. Have you fixed this early Londale situation? He was like, yeah. She was like, did you fix it Marvin's way or did you fix it Rock's way? And Marvin says, I fixed it God's way. More confirmation, more confirmation about what's going on with Marvin, right? It's been handled basically. So Marvin and Rock go sit down with Stefano, and Stefano's open to helping with the truck situation, right? He's open to helping with the truck situation. He don't want to do it too long because the drug business is a filthy, filthy business. You know what I'm saying? And he got his pinky up and drinking his macchiato, right? At the same time, he willing to help Rock. He's being very passive, aggressive, and angry to Marvin. And the reason why is again because Early has already gone by there. And Early has told the whole story. He done spilled the whole thing. Now, Early got to go because snitches get ditches. Everybody know that, right? Now, but Stefan don't say that. But Rock notices that he's being verbally passive aggressive to Marvin. Marvin notices, right? And he kind of gives Marvin an opportunity to have something to say about something, and Marvin is just like, you're being weird, but yeah, I side with Rock basically. Later on, he asked Rock to stay for a minute, and he want Marvin to go on. He want to talk to Rock alone. This is another sign to Marvin, right? And also it's a sign to Rock. And Rock is just like, I don't know how we gonna fix this. So Stefano tells Rock when he send Marvin on his way, Stefano tell Rock that Marvin did these things. That Early came by and Early said this and he believed Early, and Rock is just like, no, Early can't be trusted. That's a whole family of snitches and they'll do anything for money and bop bop bop. Now, your brother Marvin is the one that brought Early in on the scene. Early wouldn't even be in on the scene if Marvin wasn't being desperate and making poor choices, right? We still love Marvin, don't get me wrong, but let's call a spade, you guys. Let's call a spade a spade. But Rock is standing by Marvin. And Stefano is like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I believe Early. I believe everything that Early said. And he said, you don't believe it, but guess what? Marvin been by here, and Marvin told me, you didn't even know that y'all had a side business, number one. And he said, but when Marvin came back here, Marvin talked to me about replacing you. Now we know that's a flat out lie. Because when he approached Marvin about replacing Rock, Marvin told him under no circumstances. Absolutely not. And don't confront me about my family again. Don't try to come and drive a wedge between me and my family ever, 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 ever again, right? And so Rock is shocked. The look on her face is just like, what else? What else could go wrong? Like my product, I finally get the product. Everybody's getting shot and killed. Unique is back. Like you could just see the look on her face. Now, last thing she need to do is be out here trying to fix what Marvin got going on. But this is the direction we are headed in for season 4. Rock, get with the program. Later on, she go outside and she let Marvin know. Early was here. Early told everything. This is a muck up. We got to get this fixed. I am so sick of you mucking up, Marvin. Right? A mess. Okay. So we see then. I'm glad she went and told him. I'm glad she went and told him so he don't think he could double back and talk to Stefano and fix things with Stefano because Stefano is in too deep. Stefano knows too much and is pushing us in a direction where we need to get rid of Stefano, basically. Um, so she needed to let him know. Okay. Um, then we see where um Lou come to see Rock, right? And and he telling her this all this stuff about how he want to change and how he want. She got so much going on. I thought you said you didn't want to be in the game. Are you sure you want to be in the game? You ain't gonna be in the game and then out the game and then in the game and then out the game. Are you talking to your therapist? Like she's just trying to clear him real quick. Give him a quick vetting session. Let me see now. You gonna be down? Because you was a raging alcoholic, sir, a drunk. I don't know if he an alcoholic, but he definitely a drunk. He was a drunk, okay, for sure. And she tries to, like I say, vet him, get him qualified, because we about to go to war, and I need to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, you gonna be a dragon slayer. I need to make sure when I pop this gate and release all these Mickey Bicky dragons that you gonna be slaying. Okay, this is our season 1 rock, right? This our season 1 rock. I don't know why we always wait until episode 10 to really put Rock into this place where she going to war. Why we can't go to war all season? You know what I'm saying? It would be just slightly more interesting. I guess we wouldn't get as much texture, right? But here we are. Here we are, episode 9, going into 10, and it's about to go down. It's about to be war. Okay? Let's talk about Unique real quick. Unique chilling with his crew, and he discussing the David situation. And Um, it was his crew that unalived David, right? And it's a good little moment. It's a good little moment. I enjoyed Unique in this episode. It's a good little moment. He asked the dude that unalived David. He was like, "You a big black book, aren't you?" I was like, "He sure is." Your crew is full of books. I just want to go ahead and point that out. Unique. Anywho, he's like, what the y'all Jersey dudes got some big dudes. He was like, what y'all eat over there in Jersey? And the dude said, New York ninjas. I was like, ooh. I was born in Rochester. Anywho, Kanan goes to see Unique. And it is a really good conversation when he sees that is Kanan, and Kanan once again, I'm Kanan Stark. It is pointing us in a direction. It's pointing us into season 5, you guys. He's announced his name, his full name now, 2 or 3 times in this episode at this point, right? Okay, so this is we're seeing the elevation of the Kanan character, who's been nothing but meow. He's been kitten soft this whole season. He steps into unique space and he is chest is out. He's puffed up. His voice is double deep. It's double deep, right? And he's standing man to man with Unique, even though he's a high school kid. He's standing man to man with Unique, right? They go out back and they chit chat it up. They talk about it. Unique denies hurting Famous. He denies knowing anything about Krystal, right? He asked about his brother, and Kanan was like, "Yeah, I put your brother down. I put your brother down. Your brother was wild and he was acting real foolish. And he said, if I had a chance to do it again, I'd do it again." Unique don't flinch. So we now know that he is completely the character is completely aware of what happened to him, which flies kind of in the face of everything that went on all season, where he acted like his brother is not the one that mollywopped him, that Rock was the cause of it all. But I digress. I digress. And Unique, just like Snaps and Pops, he's decided he's gonna sway Kanan away from Rock. This is the same thing that Snaps and Pops is doing, trying to sway Kanan away from Rock, right? And he kind of sells it. And he was like, "Yo, if you hear anything about Famous, if you hear anything about Krystal, let me know." And he lets him know, I run my own business. I run my own business. I'm not running with my mama. My mama is my supplier, and that's it. I don't have no feelings about my mama. I don't da 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 da. And this is something Unique don't mind hearing. This is something he feels like maybe I can sway him over to my camp. He was like, "You need anything? You need anybody? You need a listening ear, Kanan? Yeah, all day long. You're welcome to come around here and talk to me about it." Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Then we see where Unique goes and talks to Russo because he want to know, can Russo was like, "Well, what happened with David?" And Unique was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know anything about David. There's these homosexuals, they begin violent and be getting out of control." And Russo is just like, uh-huh. Yeah, okay. And when Unique turns around, he was just like, "But I keep my ear to the ground, and I'll let you know if I heard anything. And I'm Switzerland out here in these streets. You just let me know with the thumbs up what you want me to do." I mean, just kind of assuading Russo that he didn't have nothing to do with it, and he is following the program and not creating, war and bloodbaths out here on the streets. Turns and walks out and smiles a little bit because he knows that it's brewing, it's coming to this fevered pitch, right? And later on, into the episode, after Rock has talked to Lou, and baby Lulu is back on board, and he's had this conversation with Russo. They both sick of the Italians. Now they don't talk about it. We're not privy to the conversation. But Rock takes Lou just like season one, old times, same outfit and everything. She got on all black, and Lou got on his jacket with the with the kind of I forget, Shetland or whatever that is on the inside. It's very season one ish, and so they walk in, and not Marvin, not Marvin. Marvin is not at her side. It's Lou this time, you guys, and she tells Unique, "We need to talk." And I was like, "Okay, here we come with the schemes. Here we come with the schemes." I'm telling you, instead of, I feel like, and we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back. It's gonna be a little longer analysis, but now that we basically know what happened in the episode, let's go back and talk about our characters. I feel like Rock, like I said, is still the most interesting character on this show. Um, she gave us a lot of emotions about Kanan. The Marvin situation, she gave us a lot of emotions, but you could see sort of a pull back from the Marvin character, right? In this episode, the Rock character pulled back a bit from the Marvin character, right? Still, they had in-depth conversation, so on and so forth, but just like physically being close to Marvin and it being that same sort of energy and tone, we saw a shift, a separation from that in this episode. Lou situation. It's like she read my mind when she called bullshit on Lou, but at the same time, she got to trust Lou and she got to deal with Lou because there is a divorcing of her dependency on Marvin. She doesn't say this, but read the energy. She doesn't really feel like Lou is there. Lou's own mom called him fragile. She knows that Lou it can have some real fragile mental health situations, so on and so forth. But she cannot rely on Marvin for whatever reason. I don't think she is fully distrusting Marvin. I just think she knows that the things that Marvin has done, he ain't long for this space, and she needs to get somebody in place for when the inevitable day comes that Marvin is no longer with us. And that's what I got from that her conversation with Lou. At the end of the day, Rock is a planner, you guys. Rock is a planner. She's a strategist. And I would not be surprised if she does not get into bed with Unique again in terms of getting rid of the Italians, Russo as well as Stefano. It is a good attempt to save her family, to bring everything to a head, to rebuild her business in a way that she's not being sort of tethered by the Italians. And the same thing for Unique. It is a repeat scheme because she behind the scenes kind of schemed with Kanan to get rid of the Ronnie situation, to get the money back, and to get out from under Ronnie, get Kanan out from under Ronnie. We kind of see that same energy here, but with Unique. It's not bad. It's the shoot 'em up, pow 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 roller coaster ride that I was looking for. At the same time, the residual fallout, it's gonna be brutal. Let's talk about Kanan. Kanan finally showed up in this episode authoritatively. Ironically, his character was given more rock, much as he hates her. He was giving us rock this episode. I love the fact that the same energy he was putting into Fame, he put into Krystal. We won't see until episode 10 true emotions about what when he learns about Krystal, those true emotions. But again, it just lends to this explosive ending that we're gonna have in episode 10. Marvin is wrapping up. The Marvin character is being wrapped up in this episode. Um, I just wonder if we're gonna get to see a conversation between the Marvin character and the Juke character, you guys. It would be nice to have that one last little bit of conversation. I don't, you know, if you didn't get the fact that they're wrapping the Marvin character up by what went on with Amber, I don't know what to tell you. They're wrapping the Marvin character up, and they left it in a way where we still feel that lovable, I mean, that tenderheartedness towards our lovable Marvin character, who makes some terrible mistakes, but we still love Marvin, and it's going to be sad to see him go. Um, I just don't know. I'm trying to figure the Lou character out. I still think the Lou character is going to leave in some capacity, whether it's to go to California or to go to jail or what. But I mean, to bring the Lou character full circle in this way, it's just not believable. It's as unbelievable as the whole snaps and pops situation. So we just gonna see what the Dragon Slayer gonna do. That's all. Juke, um, the Juke, all the conversations with her past, all roads I think kind of just lead back to Garcia in the sense that um she spent this whole time dodging Garcia and telling him mother buck him and she's not a snitch and so on and so forth, and ironically she now owes a favor because he's the one that revealed what really happened to Krystal, right? Like in terms of Krystal being unalive. I think this whole episode was to push the Juke character towards being a police officer. That's what I think. I think Juke is going to get on the inside. You know, all that conversation with Aisha about she didn't know what she wanted to do with herself and so on and so forth. She loves carrying a gun and, you know, that type of thing. And now she's got this favor that she owes Garcia. This is going to push for season 5 Juke into um a different kind of basic training, but with the police department. That's what I see. This is what I see. Okay, and I'm not gonna be too terribly shocked if in episode 5, at some point in season 5, I'm sorry, at some point Juke is gonna probably unalive Garcia. She's gonna get everything she needs from Garcia, and he's gonna think he's got a CI in Juke, and all along Juke's gonna be using him to get on it at the police department and to keep up with what's going on with her family, from inside the police department. All right. Again, I'm hoping and praying they let the Marvin character have a conversation with the Juke character before they get rid of the Marvin character. But fingers crossed on that. Unique. Unique is my second favorite, you guys. Joey Badars delivers his lines with purpose and depth in this episode, and it makes me feel like he may not be unalived in this season. You know, especially since he sort of downplayed that type character. He was giving us glitch unique, right? The Pet Cemetery unique, and he's giving us some more energy from the unique we really really liked and loved. um Outside of Rock, Unique is still one of my favorite characters. Marvin, obviously, but the Unique character, that Kanan conversation he had with Kanan, I love that. I love that conversation. And then when he talked to Akbar and he kind of outlined who Kanan is, right? Who Kanan came from, that his name legacy and his family's kind of a big deal, and he big up Kanan, right? He said, Kanan looked me in my face and told me that he unalived my brother, and I have to respect that. I don't have no love lost for my brother. And he said he'd do it again. And he was like, I like this little ninja. This conversation that Unique is having with Akbar, not only did it have texture and depth, and it gave us some direction, it was leading us, it was out sort of outlining and framing the Kanan Stark character for season 5, you guys. That's my opinion. That's all I got for you guys. But I'm telling you, Kanan is not going to unalive Rock. I know this is the direction it's headed in, right? In terms of what Snaps and Pop said. But you guys, this Kanan will never, ever, ever, and Kanan and Rock is never gonna turn on each other like that. It's just not gonna happen. It looks like it. It looks like this is direction that is headed in, but it's not. It is not. Kanan will never unalive Rock or vice versa. And I stand by that. I stand by that. I don't know if we're gonna lose Unique in this season. The character does seem to have some value going into season 5. I would love to see this Pops and Snaps thing come to a end. I do think we're losing Marvin this season. I don't know how long we're gonna have Lou or what role Lou is playing. For a split second, I thought, is it Lou that's gonna be leaving? But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Marvin. All right. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all put it down below. Listen, I like the episode. I thought it was a good episode. I love to know if you guys enjoyed the episode. And who was your MVP for this episode? I love to hear that too. Remember, at the end of the day, Rock is strategic and she's a planner. And a lot of those same qualities are in Kanan are in Kanan. Okay, you roll that unique character over into that situation, and she got Lou as a rider now. Episode 10 is gonna be sheesh. Y'all tell me what you think. Y'all put it down below. And until next time, honeybees, mwah, 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 I holla.